Hey everybody, Norm over here, and I've got my friend Lowell Cauffiel over here.
Yeah.
And Lowell is a crime writer, a crime author.
Yeah, novelist, yeah.
Novelist, and writes books and done some movies and stuff like that. And this is his latest book. It's called Below the Line, which I have read, and it's actually really good. Your development of characters is excellent. And so if you like crime stories, it's really good. You know, just your lingo when you're talking about, putting the lines out from your characters, sounds like, did you ever do time or what? You know?
No, but I've spent a lot of time interviewing psychopaths in prison, and
And then you come here and interview
yeah, right.
me.
Hey, I feel right at home.
One psychopath to another. You know,
I feel
so.
right at home.
All right.
Well, when I was a journalist in Detroit, I covered a lot of crime and spent a lot of time with criminals, and so that's kind of where I picked up the whole attitude. It's an attitude more than anything.
Yeah. No, it's very good. Very authentic, where you kind of feel like you must have spent some time with some of these brainiacs. You know?
Yeah, right.
So anyhow, this is a really good book. I suggest that you get it and read it, and who knows, maybe one day it'll be a movie.
Yeah.
And you also wrote a lot for music magazines.
Yeah, I actually got my start as a music journalist. I wrote for Rolling Stone in the 70s, and a great period of American music, you know.
Cool.
Wrote for Rolling Stone, Cream magazine, the legendary Cream magazine, Guitar Player magazine, Contemporary Keyboard. Had some great interviews. I had the last interview with Tommy Bolin, the great Tommy Bolin, before he unfortunately tragically died.
Yeah.
I did one of the few interviews with Jeff Beck when Blow by Blow came out, because Jeff Beck didn't want to do interviews with anybody. He didn't like reporters.
Oh yeah. No,
And that's a great interview. You can actually see that interview or hear it on my website, lowellcauffiel.com. I transcribed it and took the audio and put it on my website. And it's funny because we're backstage at the Masonic Hall in the dressing room, and Jean-Luc Ponty, the violinist, who was with John McLaughlin. They were touring with Mahavishnu Orchestra at the time. He's practicing away in the background, you know.
Really?
And
so it's going on behind the interview?
Yeah, behind the interview. So I had to do a closed caption so you could hear everything Jeff was saying. But yeah, that was a great period in American music in the 70s.
Absolutely. I remember it. You know,
Yeah.
you got to be our age to kind of get that. You
Yeah.
know, so, and you're from Detroit,
Yes.
so you have like a lot of, Detroit is kind of a colorful city, and a lot of, good and bad, you know. And,
Well, we say Detroit. I always say that Detroit is like New York, but with guns. You know.
Really? Oh,
but
okay.
I had a blues band in Detroit, the Progressive Blues Band, for 25 years. Led the band. Got to work with some great musicians. One guy named Willie D. Warren, the famous Baby Boy Warren, who these were early post-war guys, black players. I learned my guitar style from those kind of players.
Was my friend Paul Warren, was he from Detroit too?
I don't think I
had a band called Paul Warren and Explorer, I believe. But I thought he might have been from Detroit too, and of course Ted Nugent, you know.
Yeah, I'm holding a Birdland here, right? This is Ted's favorite guitar. It's amazing how he had. I did a lot of interviews with Ted, as a matter of fact, and I've got a gold record of his hanging in my room, and he had a Birdland. He played like Cobo Hall, which is a big hall.
I sold him a Birdland years ago.
Oh, you did?
Blonde, sharp cutaway Birdland. But
how he kept from feeding back, I have no idea.
It's an art, knowing where to stand in front of your amplifier to minimize the feedback.
Yeah, he had two twins. He two twins stacked on top of each other, and I think some extension cabinets. And he's deaf in that ear. That was
I
face
believe
that
that,
thing.
yeah. Well, all I can say is if you, in fact, we're even discussing an idea for a book and possibly a movie. I don't know.
Yeah, we don't want to reveal it, though. We don't want anybody to steal it, Norm.
Yeah. So, but it's pretty cool, and it's based on truth, so.
Well, I want to tell you, Norm, how much I enjoy coming to the shop, and I bought a few guitars here, and I just love what you do for the community, particularly the Midnight Mission. I've raised money for the Midnight Mission as well. They're one of the great outreach down in Skid Row because they require you to get sober to go into the Midnight Mission.
Right.
And I've met people who were literally on the streets living in tents who 5 years later have their own company as a result of the Midnight Mission.
You never know the potential of somebody, just because they've, faced some bad luck, or it could be drugs, it could be mental illness, it could be anything. Every one of those people has a story. And, when you see somebody homeless out on the street, they could be a very interesting person that has a lot to say, and a lot of people just ignore them and walk away.
Right.
But it's nice when they're able to get some help.
Yeah,
It means a lot to
that's
me.
a good outfit to be. I've raised money for them. I had a nonprofit film company called Primary Purpose Productions. We wrote and directed 3 films geared towards getting people into recovery, and we had a big premiere, and the money went to the Midnight Mission. So we got that in common too.
Cool. Well, all I can say is, guys, buy this book, read this book. It's very cool. And he's really a great writer. Really, you kind of fit into that thing there. It's almost a little scary knowing you after reading some of this, but it's a little wacky. But check out Lowell Cauffiel, and it's spelled Caufffiel.
Yeah, lowellcauffiel.com. Right.
All right, so get his books. And
available on Amazon and everywhere else.
It's a great book. I borrowed it and read Norton's copy.
Yeah. Look at that.
Very cool. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it as always. All right.